Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatiminandasya Gnanandana Shalakaya Chakkurunmalitam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshnan Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitya Namne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashpati Deshatharini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Teachings of Queen Kunti, Chapter 21. What is our actual value? Kevayam nama rupabhyam yadubih saha pandavaha bhavato darshanam yarhi rishikanam iveshituhu. As the name and fame of a particular body is finished with the disappearance of the living spirit. Similarly, if you do not look upon us, all our fame and activities, along with the Pandavas and Yadus, will end at once. What is our actual value? What is our actual value if Krishna doesn't look upon us? Kunti Devi is quite aware that the existence of the Pandavas is due to Krishna, Sri Krishna only. See, look at this statement. Existence of the Pandavas. And who are the Pandavas? The Pandavas are undoubtedly well established in name and fame and are guided by the great King Yudhishthira, who is morality personified. And the Yadus are undoubtedly great allies. But without the guidance of Lord Krishna, all of them are non-entities. As much as the senses of the body are useless without the guidance of consciousness. Without the guidance of Lord Krishna, all of them are non-entities. So we should understand this. So we should live under the guidance of Krishna. Live under the guidance of Krishna. Live under the guidance of Krishna's representative. Because without that guidance, we are actually non-entities. As much as senses of the body are useless without the guidance of consciousness. If a person is in coma or something, is not able to exhibit his consciousness, his senses are useless. No one should be proud of his prestige, power, and fame without being guided by the favor of the Supreme Lord. Meaning, somebody might have prestige, power, fame, but if he is not guided by the favor of the Supreme Lord, now how will somebody be guided by the favor of the Supreme Lord? When will somebody be guided by the favor of the Supreme Lord? Only when he becomes a devotee. Only when he surrenders to Krishna, surrenders to the representative of Krishna, only then he will be guided. Without being guided, if somebody has prestige, power, fame, he should not become proud of it. Because without the guidance of or the favor of the Supreme Lord, it is all useless. Hmm? The living beings are always dependent, and the ultimate dependable object is the Lord Himself. So we are all dependent. Nobody can say we are independent. Even in day-to-day activities, we are dependent on somebody or the other. So we are always dependent, but we want to think of ourselves as independent, and we want to remain independent also. And this point I've been stressing again and again. There's no question of independence after initiation. So those who are ready to give up independence, we should get initiated. If we are not ready to give up independence, we should not get initiated. Because actually that is our real position. But since we are stubborn, obstinate, we don't want to give up our independence. That is the normal conditioned life. Is trying to remain independent and do whatever nonsense we want. But we can't continue that into spiritual life. And spiritual life begins with initiation. Real spiritual life begins with initiation because begins with surrender. Surrender to Guru, surrender to Vaishnavas. surrender to acharyas. Mm. So we should remember that we are always dependent. There is no question of independence. Independence is a diseased condition. Thinking that we are independent is a diseased condition, and it results in lot more problems. It results in lot more problems. And the ultimate dependable object, meaning on whom we can depend, is the Lord Himself. We may therefore invent by our advancement of material knowledge all sorts of counteracting material resources. Meaning, we have some situation. What will we do? By progress that we have made in material knowledge, we will have so many material resources which we will use to counteract our situation. For example, somebody is unwell, then they'll go to the doctor, and that's advancement of material knowledge, medicines, etc. And we are trying to counteract our situation. But without being guided by the Lord, all such inventions end in fiasco. However strong and stout the reactionary elements may be. So Prabhupada is saying, how much ever powerful that whatever material resource you found to counteract your situation, it'll end in fiasco, it'll end in nothing, it'll end in actually more destruction, more problem, unless being guided by the Lord. Example is atom bomb, right? Or this uh, mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction, right? Fiasco. So all this advancement so called, if it is not used or if it is not guided by the Lord, then it will result in more destruction. It will result in more destruction. So we should understand. I mean, for as practicing devotees, for us, it is very, very important not to try to remain independent, right? Be dependent on the will of the Lord, be dependent on the will of Guru, be dependent on the will of Srila Prabhupada, be dependent on the will of senior Vaishnavas. Right, and we should always think that how much ever our whatever our prestige, power, fame, etc., how much ever money we might have, how much ever contacts we might have, etc., unless if we are not going to get guided by the Lord, then all of it will just result in more problems. That's all. As soon as an important man dies, his name and form become unimportant, even though he may have been a big scientist, politician, or philosopher. How long will we remember? How long will a Mahatma Gandhi be remembered? And just imagine how long a great soul like Srila Prabhupada will be remembered. So we can understand that those who have, on an ongoing basis, on a daily basis, impacting so many hundreds and thousands of people, he is the one who's important, not a materially important man. A materially important man will be forgotten. As long as we are alive, our name, form, and activities are glorious. But as soon as the life is gone, the body is but a lump of matter. When an important man is alive, he may have so many guards and no one can go before him or touch him. But when the same man is dead and lying on the floor, one may kick him in the face. Prabhupada. Prabhupada's strong, straightforward presentation. One may kick him in the face, and practically no one will care. After the disappearance of the soul, the body of the important man has no value. And what is the soul? It is the energy of Krishna. Therefore, it is part and parcel of Krishna. So when the energy is withdrawn, that is when Krishna is not there, the body becomes unimportant. Prabhupada is saying, soul not being there is as good as Krishna not being there, because soul is part and parcel of Krishna. So when Krishna is not there, body becomes unimportant. But still we are not able to completely understand and accept the worthlessness of the body, isn't it? We are still attached to the body. We are still attached to the body. We are attached to doing things for the body which are not necessarily required to simply keep body and soul together. But we are pampering the body. We are taking care of the body. Mm. We are decorating the body for nothing. It's totally unimportant. It's only important as long as the soul is there. Right? So the only job of a transcendentalist is to simply try to keep the body and soul together, meaning try to remain in a healthy condition as much as possible, because this is also people going to overdrive on this. Overdrive means spending more than required time to try and keep the body in a healthy condition. You also understand there is karma phala, and karma phala will also have effect on our health, etc. So we cannot just put all our energy in and just trying to maintain our health by yoga and this and that and all that. Anyway, it's going to go, but our only we should try as much as uh, endeavor and over endeavor. We should always remember this. We should endeavor to keep our body in healthy condition. We should not over endeavor. What is the difference between endeavor and over endeavor? Over endeavor is when our consciousness is completely gripped by that particular problem. Meaning, I'm thinking about my body and I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. I'm trying so many things to keep my body healthy that I'm only thinking about my body all the time. So I've come into body consciousness or health consciousness, but I won't remain Krishna consciousness. Krishna conscious. So that's not our idea. Our idea is not to give so much importance to the body that we forget Krishna. We have to give importance to the body just so that we can this so a body can remain alive, meaning body can remain functional, person can remain alive and execute Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there's no body is not any more important. Krishna's energy and Krishna himself are not different. Shakti, Shakti Mator Abhedaha. Hmm. Shakti is the energy. Shakti Mato is the energetic. Abhedaha is non-different. The sun, for example, is energetic and the sunshine is energy. As long as the sunshine is present, the sun is present. And if the sun were not present, the sun's energy would also not be there. The energy and the energetic must both exist. This is Prabhupada is saying because of these Mayavadis. Although the Mayavadi philosophers do not accept the energetic, but only the impersonal energy, we must accept both the energy and energetic because it's a very simple thing. How can there be energy without an energetic being? The word energetic means in whom the energy is there, right? Or from whom the energy comes. So if there is no one or no source for the energy to come, where is the energy originating from? While the energy works, the energetic remains aloof, just as the sunshine spreads everywhere while the sun itself remains apart. So remains aloof means he is there somewhere, like a CEO is running a company. CEO is not sitting in the company every day. He is wherever he is, is some meeting, is in some party, is in some holiday, something. Wherever he is. But his energy is working, which is his company, all the employees that he has hired, uh, the energy that he, through whatever electricity, this, that, everything that he is providing to make sure that the company is running. That is that is his energy. That is a manifestation of his energy. Meaning through various ways he is giving all this required for the company to run, but he himself is not sitting there. Similarly, there's sunshine, but the sun is not sitting there. Sun is there somewhere. He's so powerful that he's sitting somewhere and he can still radiate that heat and light. Similarly, there is energy working throughout the cosmic manifestation. The cosmic manifestation consists of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. These 8 material elements are separated material energies. Me bhinna prakriti rashtada. And we can understand that behind these energies, there must be an energetic source. For example, we are using electric power, but behind this power are the powerhouse and the engineer. Rascals do not understand this. So Prabhupada, when he says rascals, it basically fools. They simply see the power of this cosmic manifestation, but they do not understand that behind this power is the power maker, the source of power. Therefore, Krishna comes and says, I am the power maker, I am behind this power. And still, people don't want to accept Krishna's position. Krishna himself personally comes because we do not have the eyes to see Krishna and cannot understand him. When we contemplate the form of God, we think that because God created millions and millions of years ago, he must be a very old man. Therefore, God personally comes before us so that we can see what he is. This is his kindness. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam samgamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice or descendant of Bharata and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. God comes to this world in person. He leaves behind his instructions like those of Bhagavad Gita, and he leaves behind his devotees who can explain who God is. But still we are so stubborn that we do not accept God. This is foolishness. In Bhagavad Gita, those who do not accept God are called mudha, rascals and fools. Hmm. So we should tell people, we should give this message to people. You think you're intelligent, then try and come and understand God. Hmm. Hmm. If you are foolish anyway, simply accept God. Why are you uh, why are you rejecting? Uh, so this is a challenge. This is the challenge. Come and understand God. Let's see how intelligent you are. God exists and God's energy also exists. So if you cannot see God, we can at least see his energy. We may not see the electric powerhouse and the engineer within it generating power, but we use electricity in so many ways. Therefore, we should inquire where this electricity comes from. This is intelligence. And if one inquires in this way, he will eventually find the powerhouse itself. Similarly, if one studies further to find out who is running the powerhouse, one will find a human being. Although the electricity is impersonal and even the powerhouse is impersonal, the man behind everything is a person. Similarly, God is a person. This is a logical conclusion. And Prabhupada always uses logic. He said like, uh, religion without philosophy is sentimentalism. So we need to have philosophy. Unfortunately, many devotees don't like philosophy. They want to just, they'll say, I'll engage in service. Yeah, but you'll engage in service, but you should at least know for whom you are offering service. What is that? Who is that person? What is his position? How should we serve him? How is he telling us to serve him? Yeah, it's okay. They may not be able to convince somebody else that God is a person, but at least you should know who God is, what his qualities are. How can he be impersonal? That which is impersonal has no intelligence. So what is saying? Intelligence has to be there, and intelligence is a sign of a conscious entity, not some consciousness less or unconscious energy. Unconscious energy cannot have intelligence. A conscious entity can have intelligence. So it cannot be impersonal. We've invented so many very wonderful machines, but the machines are not intelligent. See, and Prabhupada elsewhere gives this example, saying that you might have created a clock, okay, but Krishna has created a machine which is a human from whom another human is produced. Can your clock create another clock? No, because machines are not intelligent. The intelligence belongs to the operator. Therefore, Krishna says, Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. You're seeing the energy displayed in the wonderful actions and reactions of the material of this material cosmic manifestation. But don't think that they are working independently. No, I am behind them. Krishna further says, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matsthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavastita. By me, by me, avyakta murtina. Avyakta means unmanifested, which is his energy. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. So it's not that Krishna is present in every place. Krishna's energy is present. And thereby we say Krishna is present. Krishna is present where? Goloka eva nivasati akilatma bhuta. He is there in Goloka. But his unmanifested form, which is his energy, pervades. And all beings are in me because they're all in his material energy. But I am not in them. That which is avyakta, unmanifested, also has a murti, a form. Mm. So Prabhupada is now giving one more angle, saying even the unmanifested has a form. For example, the sky is avyakta, unmanifest, but it also has a form, the round form of the universe. Prabhupada is saying, so that which is unmanifested also takes up the form of the container or place where it is present. If we go to the ocean, there also we shall find a form like that of a big circle. Without form, there is nothing. Everything has form, even that which is supposedly impersonal. Okay, this is another angle of argument, saying even if it is impersonal, it has to have a form. Therefore, the idea that everything is zero or impersonal is foolish. Behind the impersonal feature and the so-called voidness is the supreme form, Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. The word Ishvara means controller. Nature is not controlling itself. The real controller is Krishna. Icchanurupam api yasya cheshtate sa. The Brahma Samhita says that Prakriti or Durga, the deity of material nature, is working under the direction of Govinda Krishna. How is she working? Just like a shadow. Below our hand is its shadow. And as our hand moves, the shadow moves. Behind all manifestations, there is motion. I have sometimes given the example of the shunting of the big cars in a railway line. The engine gives the motion and pushes one car, which then pushes another, and so on. Similarly, who set up the motion of the cosmic manifestation? That original motion giver is Krishna, one who is given that movement. Hmm. So Prabhupada is saying it's just like a shadow. Material energy is just like a shadow. So Krishna moves his hand, material energy moves. So, but Krishna has to move his hand for the material energy to move. Material energy cannot move by itself. So the original motion or who is moving is Krishna. So these are all, see, this we should understand. And I mean, yeah, maybe it's not necessarily required for us. We are already accepted Krishna as Supreme Lord, etc. But it is required to explain to people how Krishna has a form and not just any ordinary form. Krishna has a sweet, beautiful form. I just now posted one message on the WhatsApp group. Sweet, beautiful Krishna. So how can you not accept that sweet, beautiful Krishna? So to make people accept sweet, beautiful Krishna, we have to learn all this logic. It's like training. Prabhupada is training us. First of all, to convince ourselves and then convince others. Now Kunti Devi says, we Pandavas have become famous and people say that we are very important. Why? Because you are our friend. Krishna was a friend of Pandavas and especially the friend of Arjuna. And therefore Arjuna was a great and valorous warrior. Mm, Because we know this. As soon as Krishna left, uh, he became aprakata, he became unmanifest. Then Arjuna lost all his valor. Mm. But Kunti Devi knew, people say, oh, the Pandavas are such great warriors and heroes. But what is the value of my sons, the Pandavas? Similarly, the Yadu dynasty was famous because Krishna took his birth in that family. But Kunti Devi says, Ke Vayam, what are we? What is our value? Ke Vayam Nama Rupabhyam. We have our name and form, but without you, it is all useless. It has no value. Arjuna, it said that after the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna asked Arjuna to get off his chariot. And Krishna is saying, get off quickly. Arjuna is saying, what happened? I mean, everything is done anyway now. Why urgency? Why have to? He just says, get off your, chariot. And as soon as Arjuna gets off the chariot, then the whole chariot explodes. And Arjuna is like completely astonished. He says, what happened? Krishna said, yeah, all the missiles, all the weapons that were fired at you by all your enemies, I just holding it back. And now that our work is done, I release them. And they're doing their job. Mm. Which means that Arjuna would have not survived if it were not for Krishna. And this is true of all of us actually. We are just simply in ignorance. We are not able to recognize Krishna's hands in our life. As we become more Krishna conscious, We see that everything good, bad, ugly in our life is actually Krishna's doing. It is Krishna. Other day I was talking to a devotee, and the devotee was being told that don't think that Krishna is present in your life. Um, Why should we not think that Krishna is present in our life? Actually, we should think that Krishna is present in our life. That's what Kunti Devi is saying here. If we think that Krishna is not in our life, then our life is useless. It has no value. And if Krishna is there in our life, he is not going to sit idle, isn't it? He's not going to sit idle, like, twiddling his fingers. So we should understand. See, Krishna's position, Krishna is such that if he's there, he's there. Nah, he will just, he's there for his devotees. He doesn't sit and see the tamasha. So why should we not think that Krishna is there in our life? Why should we not have that faith that Krishna, yes, Krishna is taking care of me? And this is surrender. And this is surrender. Anukulyasa sankalpa pratikulyasa varjanam rakshishati iti vishvaso goptritve varnam tata. What do these two things mean? Rakshishati iti vishvaso. Okay, Krishna is protecting me. Goptritve varnam tata. Krishna is maintaining me. No, when we are making this statement, Krishna is protecting me, Krishna is maintaining me, is Krishna not there in my life? And if Krishna is not there in my life, then who is protecting me? Who is maintaining me? Then we will say, me, I am protecting myself, I am maintaining myself. Then that's not Krishna consciousness. So if we say that we are Krishna conscious, how can we refuse Krishna's presence in our life? Krishna's hands in our life? And we are being told, saying, no, 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 don't think like that. Don't think you're so qualified. Why not? Why should not we think we are qualified? And what is our qualified? That we are not qualified. See, just because Krishna is there in our life doesn't make us we're not some great person, and we are not going to go about saying that, hey, you know what, Krishna is there in my life. Yeah, but in whose life Krishna will be there? Who are dependent on him? A child comes and tells parents, I have this problem, please take care of it. Parents will take care. Just like the devotee just depends on Krishna. Krishna, you are everything. Whatever you want to do, do. Krishna will say, okay, I'll take care. Don't worry. Now, if that is what it is, how can we say that Krishna is not in our life? And some of us don't want Krishna fully to be in our life. This is another problem. One is the wrong philosophy, thinking that Krishna is not in our life. If we think Krishna is not in our life, then we become independent, we become nonsense. If Krishna is there in our life, then we should be Krishna conscious because Krishna is there. So every action that we do, we should be thinking, oh, Krishna is there with me. Is Krishna happy with this? What I'm doing? No. Then let me not do it. Let me try not to do it. And we are struggling. We beg for Krishna only. Beg Krishna. Krishna, please help me. I'm not able to control myself. But I want to overcome this nonsense of mine. So many devotees, they're just, I'm as usual, following in the footsteps of Srila Prabhupada. Mm. See, basically, just we should not do lip service to bhakti, please. I was just thinking, actually, all of us here, who are especially attending these sessions, morning sessions, I have a humble request with all of you. I want all of you, I am saying, I'm I don't have this position, but I'm requesting, praying, begging, whatever you want to call. Please engage in distributing Prabhupada's books. We are making a huge plan for marathon, and we have to distribute. See, we can't just pay lip service to Krishna consciousness. We can't pay lip service to Srila Prabhupada. And because he's so clearly said, like, let's not waste our time. I know of devotees who are, generally spend so much of time on devices, mobile. Like yesterday in a class, I was telling, please keep your best friend away. Why? Because mobile has become our best friend, right? And I told, and everybody is laughing. I said, why are you laughing? This is the truth. You don't even talk to the person next to you, but you will engage with your mobile more than anything else. Throw that nonsense away. Save time, go out and save people, thereby save yourself. If you don't go out to save others, we are not going to save ourselves, because we are ourselves. We are so fortunate. We have come to Prabhupada, but we are wasting our time. It's not that everybody is 24 hours busy with, really urgent required work. It's just a mindset, right? And I'm requesting all of you, whole of December and mid of Jan till Vaikuntha Ekadashi, whenever that comes, I request all of you to sacrifice. I'm using the word sacrifice. Sacrifice your Saturday and Sunday at least. At least. I'm not saying only. At least Saturday and Sunday for Srila Prabhupada's book distribution. At least. Ideally, every evening and every morning. Yeah, you have your work time, that's fine. You have your japa time, that's fine. Right? But do nice japa, try to distribute books. And distribute books doesn't mean that you have to be on the street all the time, right? So at some point of time, I'm one session, right? Maybe sometime, maybe next week, once I'm done with finalization of what our approach to book distribution is, I'm going to present it to all of you as well. Right, and irrespective of which yatra you belong to, who is your, which circle, where you stay, I am not interested in all that. I'm not interested in accumulating these numbers for myself or reporting big numbers. I just want Prabhupada books to be distributed, right? So, and we are trying to make it very easy, completely packaged, right? So that, you don't have to go through too much of hassle, right? But it is not going to happen unless we put the effort. If you are just, why I said that is, like really here we are seeing, we are useless. Our existence is worthless without Krishna. And Krishna is there with us. And Krishna is saying, please give this mercy to others. And we have to make that effort. We have to put that effort. Otherwise, our life will go on. Nothing is going to change majorly, right? But though only few who engage themselves in Prabhupada's service, they understand how their life will change. So please don't waste your time. Next 1.5 months, it's a humble request. Prepare yourself. I know, unfortunately, many people plan their vacations during December. I mean, possibly you are not aware of this. Your vacation is less important than saving a few souls. Please go for your vacation the rest of the year, anytime, right? But don't waste this time. Don't waste December. You know, we should be doing it throughout the year, but because we don't, at least we should give December and January to Prabhupada. If we are really, I mean, if we really say Jai Prabhupada, if we really mean it, then we should give this time to Prabhupada. Prabhupada wanted us to distribute books and we should do this. Otherwise, we really, I mean, what is the value of our existence? If one soul can come to Prabhupada's shelter, then something we have done. So please don't waste your time and think about all your sources, all your contacts. Everybody has a contact book of on your mobile with more than 200 contacts. You meet so many people. You work in an organization. You're in touch with friends, family. If you are having some kind of shop establishment, you're meeting so many people. You have more. Yes, so many. You have schools. You have children. Through children. I mean, so that's going to be one major focus of our book distribution through children. Reach out to children, reach out to parents of children, right? Mm. So please, I know all of you, I mean, already I'm seeing people, uh, disconnecting from the meeting, but, we have to take this seriously. Mm. In all these books we are reading every day, we are getting so much of value. Don't we feel that we should pass on at least a little of it to others who are really so unfortunate that they have not come to Prabhupada yet? Okay, so anyway, so I just got inspired to talk about book distribution. So we'll possibly next week, one session, I'm going to talk about book distribution, right? And how we are going to go about it. And if you have any ideas, if you want to add value, please feel free, right? But more than just lip service, I want all of us to get into action, right? Brainstorm, but also execute. Hmm? Okay, so we'll stop here. If anybody has any puts, any comments, please feel free. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat
Yeah,
Pranam.
Dandavat Prabhu.
So quick question. So when we are saying, right, so Mayi Sarvam Idam Tatam, Nachaham Teshvavasitam. So So basically, and also in the Damodara Astak, we are reading that, okay, yeah. So in the belly of Krishna, that all the universes exist.
Mhm.
But so I mean, when we say that, right, when we explain that to people, that okay, yeah, so Krishna is so big that all the universes exist. I mean, is that how we should
No, 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 not
visualize or
Krishna is not.
understand, or is it based on his energies that all of them exist on?
I
So
mean,
how do
Krishna
we
is,
understand
yeah,
that?
Krishna is inconceivable. But when we are explaining to others, we
Right,
simply explain that it's all resting on Krishna's energy. It's all resting on Krishna's energy. Now, but Krishna is so huge that Krishna expands himself as Mahavishnu, and
right.
then Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, and then there is so-called Virat Roop. So yeah, Krishna
Mhm.
himself, not Krishna himself, Krishna through his expansions,
Right.
he actually he is all pervading, right, and through his
Okay.
energies.
Mhm.
But Krishna himself is a sweet 14-year-old boy. He doesn't have like a fat belly. He's like, to accommodate all the universe. I mean, he's a sweet, beautiful boy, inconceivable
Right,
to our
right.
understanding,
Mhm.
right? But he has
Mhm.
his energies which are there everywhere and working exactly the way he wants. And yeah, he takes
Mhm.
on certain forms which are really huge in our imagination, like a Mahavishnu is huge, is
Mhm.
unimaginably, unimaginably huge because all the universes which are so big and ours is the smallest of the universe, which is 4 billion, miles in diameter,
Mhm.
comes out of his pore, skin pore. So just imagine how big he might be, right?
Right.
Yeah, so he is inconceivable, but it's not Krishna himself. It's Krishna's expansion. And Krishna can do anything. He can expand himself
Sure.
bigger than the biggest, smaller than the smallest. He can do anything. But he chooses
Right.
to remain his form as Shama Sundara Krishna, beautiful form of himself.
Yeah. So basically, the understanding is like Krishna, through his expansions, through his energies, he's
Yeah,
maintaining his. I mean, on his energy, that everything is resting. Right.
yeah.
So that's
Uh,
the
yeah, and
understanding.
that way
Rather
he is
than
all
because
pervading. And that way
right,
he is
right.
all pervading. Yeah.
Yeah, because when we read Damodara Astakam, I mean, in general layman's terms, right? If people understand, oh, in his Udara, Vishwasya Dhamne. So basically, so all the universe exists is so big. I mean,
Yeah.
how a layman can understand all these things is
Yeah, and Krishna
puzzling.
is so inconceivable that anything is possible. But we don't, for
Mhm.
devotees, we have to understand that yes, if Acharya is saying, that all the universe is present in his mouth, they are present in his mouth. Now, how they are
Mhm.
present, that we are not qualified to understand at this point of time, but they are
Mhm.
present, right? But when we are explaining to other people, we will not give they'll just start they not trust our words, right? So we'll just explain
Correct, correct.
philosophically, saying this is what it is. But everything is,
Mhm.
I mean, where is Mahavishnu coming from? Where is that form coming from if it is not there in Krishna? So
Right,
it is
right.
there, but
So,
it doesn't
so,
manifest. It just doesn't manifest his, uh, yeah,
okay, brother.
yeah,
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll conclude here. One Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhishta kripa sindhu bhyo patitanam pavanam bhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Please don't forget about book distribution. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण धन्यवाद।